I mean, and typical Mark style, he went straight out there and, as you guys mentioned, fell off, pushing to the limit like he does, like no one else. But I spoke to his right-hand man straight after, and he said he's totally fine, not even a bruise, and it was a front-end loop, turn 16, so basically the last turn, a tight right-hander, and pushed it. But to be fair, there's a fair bit of dust out there, so could be that as well.
Yeah, just going to answer that, Simon. Track conditions,
factory team. So he's now taken Petrucci's role, from last year in Pramac to test the equipment for the factory and filter through some things. So the factory guys don't have to do it, but guys, their bike, I think, has been arguably the best bikes. I don't think that's changed, Some of the others have got closer, but which is going to be better for us watching. It's going to, it's even closer, I think, machinery-wise than it's ever been. But I would say they're the most settled team, all the riders are happy with the bike. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's going to be super strong. I noticed that all 4 factory riders have the 2019 chassis that we saw arrive at Sepang at the last test, so it obviously worked. And now also Jack has got one, and that's the latest. I thought about it for 5 minutes over a beer, and I replied to him that if I was a rider right now on the grid going out there, I would be really worried about Vinales, because he is, the other guys are, I think, a little bit more predictable. When he's on form, so in my opinion, when he's on form, he can pull something so special out of the bag. And we saw a couple of years ago how he led the championship for quite a while. And I think we're seeing how a repeat of that, how happy he was, and I hope for him that he can do it, and genuinely take the fight. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. You just said also about Quartararo. He really surprised me at Sepang. We know the Yamaha is a good bike to ride for rookies to jump on. Everybody finds it comfortable and easy to ride. They don't have to adapt too much. He's going really well on the Yamaha, and we know Valley's going to be there, don't we? Valley never is the fastest tester, but he's going to be there at race day. I'm about to have someone start behind me, so it's going to get noisy.
My personal feeling, because it just seemed to unravel very quickly. And then they were jostling with chassis, and what chassis? I had heard that they've gone through 3 or 4 chassis before the beginning, the middle of the season. Valentino.
I just want to get your observations on, just in general, I think at the moment on HRC. Cal Crutchlow very well. Cal has had a real tough recovery after that bad crash he had in Phillip Island. They missed Lorenzo in Sepang. Marc Marquez has been well below his usual physical best. The engineers, that's not going to help them, is it, in terms of their feedback with their 3 main stars not riding at 100%?
It definitely is. But at the same time, you've got Marc Marquez in your garage. And you've got Cal, who's a good backup. And what I mean by backup is HRC has used Cal in many ways to make their bike progress with technology and the usefulness. They're both saying that the bike came out of Malaysia test quite well. I was surprised.
But we know what happened. Now I need to find a way for stop the bike with less meters, especially at the beginning. Then this will be the next step for go faster.
But today you set a really good last time, so your vibes are positive.
Yeah, positive. But the important is Sunday race, and today is the first day of the pre-season test. Then the important will be improve tomorrow. That this is the difficult thing, because the bike worked well, everything well. I need to make the good indications for tomorrow, improve a lot the last time, and next day improve even better, even more.
Are you focusing in any special area tomorrow?
Yes, I want to break harder, keeping the front feeling of the tire. This is
in the Ducati, we are KTM maybe. we are a little bit behind them. No, so we need to improve also on these areas.
Thank you, Alex.
So good at just going out there and being able to put lap in and lap out. Obviously, you must be giving them great feedback. Suzuki's always been good at building chassis, and they're just continuing to run that. It would be much better if they could run a third bike, I think, to have another #1 rider or a #2 rider or whatever out there, just to help to develop the bike better and quick.
After 9 o'clock, the conditions start to drop a lot in temperature, so we didn't try anything to improve the bike. We still have a long way for me to find the best ergonomy, because I still in the foot packs and the foot levers I slide or I don't have enough support in accelerations on the seat, so still need to modify it and to change many things on the ergonomy. And physically I have the wrist with the injury, and I need much more time on the bike, because 4 months is a lot. Even if you train very well on the gym, when you arrive into the bike you use different muscles, and I need more bike, no, to be fitter.
Your first impression of the potential of the bike, I know you're not comfortable, but your first impression of the potential, you think it's there?
It's good. I think we improved the engine. The engine is quite fast. Mark, I think today was the fastest one.
On the straight, which we music to the ears of the HRC engineers, because that's normally been the territory of Ducati.
No, definitely. And he also said Cal was quite fast as well, so we didn't get to see those speeds at that time, but that's probably, as you said, music to their ears. It's a shame that Jorge has this injury to his wrist, because he is someone very, very, very special, as we know, jumping off the Yamaha.
Stevens, who's looking at your picture there, Bernard Anchial on left, Alex Briggs there, just giving his ears some protection. Yamaha spying on the opposition, and why wouldn't you? Everybody at the moment looking at Ducati. Will they win that first World Championship since Casey Stoner back in 2007? They are Brent Stevens and Alex Briggs, two very, very familiar faces, of course, mechanics. Alex Briggs is a mechanic back in the day to Mick Doohan. They've been with Valentino Rossi throughout his time at Honda and Yamaha in MotoGP. Everybody trying to catch a glimpse of what Ducati are up to.
We should have had them mic'd up there. Listen to their conversation.
Randy, we know that Gigi Dall'Igna, he does like to push the...
The humidity have started to going a little bit down, was difficult, and we have to understand that, but has been a very first positive part of the test, and we have 2 days more for understand better all the situation.
And what's the plan for tomorrow? Are you going to focus in some area?
For sure to resolving the problem that we have today, but I think that are not very big problems.
Randy, just quickly talking about Massimo Rivola, like you say, you know him pretty well, but his introduction as the Aprilia CEO, that's crucial for Aprilia, because it now frees up Romano Albiciano to just focus on what he's best at, and that is engineering and developing and improving that RSGP. I think last year Aleix Espargaro said, talk about a jack of all trades. He was almost having to build the hospitality. He was carrying out rider negotiations, you name it, he was involved in everything. He couldn't concentrate exclusively on developing and improving this RSGP, which we're looking at right now over in Qatar. Now he can do that. That's going to be a massive...
Well, to set up the bike as best as possible, to be as fast as possible in the race.
Thank you, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Franco Morbidelli. Good to see he was okay after that tumble at turn 6. This was shots earlier on over in Qatar at the Losail International Circuit. Andrea Dovizioso followed Morbidelli for a few laps over in Malaysia a couple of weeks ago, Randy, and he said straight away he could tell how smooth Franco was on that Yamaha. You need to have a smooth riding style to get the best out of that agile chassis, and he said there's no doubt about it in his mind, Andrea Dovizioso, that this guy who we're looking at now is going to show everybody in 2018 what a top rider he is. He's got all the ingredients, a brand new team which is very ambitious and motivated, and of course he's on a 2019 spec YZR M1, the exact same spec as Valentino Rossi and Maverick Vinales, so we're going to see big things from him this year.
Separate team to the factory Yamaha team, but in the same training camp with Valentino. So, and all those guys are pushing each other every weekend in dirt track riding, always staying on top of things. But yes, Morbidelli is somebody that we really looked at.
Because today not many things that we change and just work on the style. So this is what I'm looking for today.
And have you improved a little bit your feeling?
I mean, he didn't plan that this happened, and yeah, unfortunately he had many damage in all his racing career on this. So yeah, of course he can help the project a lot, and I know him, how he's working and how precise he sees things on the bike. And yeah, it will be sure a big help and a good partnership between.
On the other hand, he's a very reflected rider, a very detailed rider, and of course this amount of details coming all together in a new bike is quite a lot for him, for us, and we have to go step by step through it and yeah, make him feel more comfortable on the bike and use whatever we learn there then in the race team as soon as possible. Of course, we're very excited to use this.
Going to hold sway. Well, that's exactly what happened. Confirmation on your screens. Maverick Vinales, that 1:55.051, just 2/1000 of a second faster than his benchmark time on the opening night 1 year ago. Alex Rins second again on the Suzuki. Dovizioso and Petrucci third and fourth on the factory Ducati. Petrucci, of course, in that record-breaking form 2 weeks ago in Sepang. Valentino Rossi fifth. Tito Rabat in sixth place. Fabio Quartararo seventh, with Taka Nakagami, despite a fall at turn 2. In eighth place had Pol Espargaro and Marc Marquez, who thankfully was unscathed from that turn 16 crash. Mir 11th ahead of Aleix Espargaro and Andrea. You know, the two factory Aprilia men have had crashes tonight, but they've both been uninjured. Franco Morbidelli was on the faller. He was 14th ahead of Pecco Bagnaia, who created so many headlines last time out in Malaysia. Cal Crutchlow down in 18th place. Jack Miller a little bit off the pace down in 19th. Carol Abraham 20th. Jorge Lorenzo then 21st in his first outing in 2019 on the Repsol Honda RC213V. Bradley Smith continues in his new role, testing role for the factory Aprilia squad, and tough times as well for the Malaysian. Hafiz Shireen is finding that transition over from the